If you're not preparing to succeed, you're preparing to fail. I think that is so very important for creatives and artists, writers, whatever it is that you do. I think it's important that you understand that and take that to heart, because a lot of times your public or the audience, they see the finished product, but there's so much that takes place before you see the finished product. This Before you paint that painting, before you write that piece, create that tune or music, whatever it is that you do, there is a lot of preparation work that a lot of times people totally miss, or people want to skip over. We always want to get to the good part, right? We always want to skip the salad and the starters and go right to the meal. But there is a lot of preparation that takes place before you even get started. And I want to talk about that because as an artist, you have to know your subject. In order to craft your message, you have to know what you're talking about. You have to know what you want to say. And that takes a lot of reading, that takes a lot of studying, that takes a lot of practicing, and it also takes a lot of research. And a lot of times people don't want to engage in those parts of the artistic process. But we have to understand that before you can even get to your process, you have to prepare. So let me go a little bit deeper and tell you what I mean about that. So I'm working on this mural, and it's a very big wall. The wall is about maybe 25 to 30 feet high, and it's about a good 75 to 80 feet long. So it's a very big wall. And when I first saw the wall, it was pretty damaged. It was just a plain brick wall, but there was a lot of cracks. There was a lot of broken bricks. There was all kinds of issues with the wall. And I said, hey, before we get started, we need to get this wall pointed, these cracks filled in, and painted. And of course, the client said, okay, we will take care of that. So what happened was they did paint the wall, but I noticed that the cracks weren't filled in. The wall was in bad shape. So because we were pressed for time, we just painted over the wall. We just proceeded with doing the mural work on the wall. And it took a long time. It was a very, very tedious process, but we got the project done. Years later, it got tagged up by graffiti artists, and I was called out to restore the mural. Well, when restoring the mural, there was a lot of soft spots on the wall and a lot of peeling paint. And when I got to look under the peeling paint, there was a lot of water that got in between the paint and the wall, and it was in bad shape. Such bad shape that the brick was actually falling off the wall. I would peel off paint, large chunks of paint, and with that paint, the brick was also falling off the wall. And I'm like, wow, this is terrible. And it was all over the wall, not just in a few spots, but all over from top to bottom. So as we're working on it, there were some spots where I noticed that the paint was like bubbling really bad. There was dirt sticking to the paint. So what that tells me was they didn't even clean the wall. They didn't power wash the wall. They just sprayed the paint over the dirt. And now we have a wall that the paint is falling off. And the hard work that we did with this mural, the mural is falling apart. And I had to go and fix as many spots as I can. I couldn't get them all, but it is a nightmare. And I brought that up because just to say this, you have to prepare. You have to do the necessary work to prepare. Otherwise, it's going to affect whatever it is that you do in the long run. If you don't take the time to study, if you don't take the time to read, if you don't take the time to write, if you don't take the time to research, if you don't take the time to know your subject or to find something out interesting about your subject, it will affect your art in the long run. The important thing to understand is that you want to take time, really, really take time to do that prep work before you get started. And it can be as simple as laying down the ground, uh, or laying down a good base drawing, or really taking the time to study your drawing to make sure that everything is right and everything is in place. Because when you have a good base, you'll have a strong piece. If the foundation is right, your piece is going to be right. If the foundation or the idea is good in your writing or your music, you're going to have a strong piece. And this is what I really, really want you guys to understand, that doing the prep work may take a little bit of time. It may take a little bit of effort. You may spend a little bit more time than you want to, but in the long run, it is worth it. So take your time, do the necessary preparation work. Don't skimp on the studying, reading, writing, or whatever it is that you have to do to prepare. Make sure that you're putting the time in and the effort in, uh, preparing so that you can have a strong piece. I'm Apostle Steve Green. This is the Mind Your Newness channel. I talk to creatives and I encourage them, and I always run into creative people. So I created this channel just for us. So if you like this video, please like and share. I hope this blessed you, and I will talk to you guys again.